Hi everyone, and welcome to Jane Talks Murder, where I'll be talking about and reviewing an episode of Poirot, Murder, She Wrote, Diagnosis Murder, or Jonathan Creek. Today I'm looking at Diagnosis Murder, Murder in the Family. Or as I like to call it, that time having relatives over for Christmas was murder. We begin the episode with Norman bar humbugging it up when Mark spots this clumsy lady and goes to see her. She calls him Daddy, and into the credits we go. This is Carol, Mark's daughter, estranged for 8 years, played by Stacey Van Dyke, Dick Van Dyke's in real life daughter, and she's sporting a nasty neck bruise, courtesy of her hubby Bruce, who she's no longer with. Meanwhile, Bruce is flanked by two tough guys whom he sasses, who want it now for free and punch him, so he hoses them and runs away. Back at Mark's, he and Carol check out an Easter egg-filled crossword puzzle before she announces she's going to head out the next day to apartment shop. Before Steve comes home from Christmas tree shopping, and he is less than thrilled to see Carol. The phone rings and it's Bruce, who says he's in trouble, but Carol don't care and goes to bed. The next day, she heads out just as the phone rings again, and it's Steve, because Bruce is dead, Jim, so Carol rocks up to the crime scene and starts nosing around, demanding answers. Steve leaves her to do some investigating, and he has to deal with Andrea and her boss Dan, who are inconvenienced by this whole thing, before Detective Lopez comes to tell him off for investigating his brother-in-law's death and kicks him off the case. Carol goes to visit him in his office, where he tells her her place was ransacked, but she has nothing helpful to add, and then Steve reveals Bruce was tortured and pretty poisoned before he died, and they shout at each other. Carol goes to mope at the beach, so Mark, disguised as the sand, comforts her and reminds her that Steve has always looked out for her and was devastated when she ran away. Steve goes home looking for Carol and finds her room gone through and Malcolm waiting for him before he's jumped by Vince, and when he goes after them, they mow him down in their car. Jesse introduces himself to Carol, and Amanda tells her Bruce had pesticide in his system before Lopez shows up asking about Steve, who's apparently going to be fine and wants a statement, so Jesse and Amanda sneak off to do some snooping. Dan won't talk to them, and this guy Ricky hits on Amanda, but she's only interested in his injured arm. And when Dan tries to toss them out, Lopez shows up with Bruce's logbook proving he was using this truck out of hours. Amanda discovers Ricky was also poisoned like Bruce was, and that for some reason means Bruce was a blackmailer, they were dumping toxic waste, and Malcolm and Vince are looking for a camcorder or tape which Carol might unknowingly have. She goes to see Steve, who spends as much time in the hospital as he does dating psycho killers on this show, and they have a little heart-to-heart before she's abducted by the goons and Andrea. They search Mark's house while Andrea wants the key to a safety deposit box, so Carol sasses her while Mark thinks she's just run away again, but Steve isn't so sure. Andrea exposits that she's been running the toxic waste scam without Dan knowing about it, but things went south when Bruce flipped on them and blackmailed them, and with the goons finding the key, they threaten to hurt Mark and Steve if Carol doesn't go with them to get the tape. The gang go to the house and find an apparent runaway note written on the crossword, but Steve thinks it's bullshit, and they find a hidden message warning them about Andrea. Holy shit, calm down, Steve. You've only just got out of hospital. Carol gets the tape, so Andrea goes to shoot her, but nope, Steve is here and she's arrested. But not before Carol punches her.
Nice right, sis.
With the day saved, they all have a sing-song around the tree, while Norman takes pictures, and it's all very lovely.
And have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Okie dokie, so this episode is set at Christmas, but there weren't really many Christmas elements except the song at the end, which was really lovely, and I wish there was more Christmassiness in it. The show continues its thread of keeping it in the family by introducing Mark's daughter, who would feature again in one of the movies, and also adding another Van Dyke into the list of those who have appeared on the show. The core idea was fine, but it seemed a bit overcomplicated. We had the domestic abuse, blackmail, toxic waste dumping, breaking and entering, high-strung boss. It was all a bit of a tangle. I like seeing a different side of Steve. He's usually pretty chill and supportive, so to see him on the defensive and not even being able to look at his own sister was an interesting side to his character. I also liked that Andrea was the mastermind behind everything. I didn't see that coming, because she came across so bubbly. The actress did a great job with the duality, and I thought the hidden message in the crossword was pretty clever. We have one victim, Bruce Hilton, who was shot execution style because he was a terrible blackmailer by our killer, It wasn't really confirmed, probably Andrea, but it could have been Vince or Malcolm. So there you have it. That was Murder in the Family. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below or come say hi on social media. If you enjoyed this video, then please hit that like button, it really does mean a lot. Or consider subscribing if you want more videos like this one. Alternatively, feel free to check out my other YouTube channels. That's it for me for Christmas. I will be returning in the new year on January 15th. So have a wonderful Christmas, and if you don't celebrate or celebrate in a different way, then I hope you have a happy and restful rest of December. I'll speak to you soon, and keep an eye out for clues.